Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series number 106, Dreadnought Buzzer. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top flap, 4 and up, warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there. G.I. Joe Classified Series, and it's embossed. And then on the front here, we have some nice practical photography as the cover art, and what appears, at least to me, to be digital renders of the accessories. And then here's some nice artwork. G.I. Joe Classified Series, and it's embossed. Cobra, Dreadnought Buzzer, Cobra, and Hasbro print. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, there's that nice artwork again of Buzzer, G.I. Joe Classified Series number 106. On this side, artwork number 106. There's the QR code if you want to scan that. And then here's his skill set down here saying he's aligned with Cobra, and then these are embossed coming around from the front, and then number 106 Cobra, Dreadnought Buzzer, and a nice digital render of the figure and some of close-up details, digital renders of close-up details. He stands 6.2 inches or 159 millimeters tall. Here's his skill set again. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Attention, especially don't stick it in your French pie hole. Parents, GIJoe.com. Small fine legalese, made in China print again, that thing, and Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers for some of the smaller stuff. First up is this sickle chain thing. And it would have been much cooler if it had been on an actual posable chain. But it's G.I. Joe Classified Series, people, so, you know. So it looks like it's probably molded in the color here of the handle, and then nice silver paint app over the rest of it. And it is nicely molded, and it does look cool. Then here we have a baseball bat with saw blades bolted to it and a spike on the end and some duct tape for the handle, it looks like. So it looks like it's probably molded in this color, and then nice silver paint apps for the rest of it. It looks nice. This is a little warped, so I may be able to take some heat to that and fix it. But even like the ends of the saw blades there. So very nicely detailed and a cool little piece. This is what we get instead of a gas can backpack though. So now we need the tweezers. So here we have his knife, probably molded in this color, and then nice silver paint app for the blade. There's the other side, so very nice looking. And here is his sidearm. molded in this color, and then the wrap is a paint app. Well, it's molded too, but it stands out because of the paint app, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a paint app on it. So nice molded details. I'm not 100% sure if we've seen that in the line or not. Here is my least favorite accessory of this piece, and that's his glasses, and they do not like to stay on his head super well, so be aware of that if you don't already have this guy. And I'm gonna say like the gunmetal color is the paint app, and the black might be a paint app as well. It's very glossy. So they look nice, I'll give it that. And then here we have his diamond tooth chainsaw, and it's really very cool looking. Now I would have liked, since this is a separate piece, if it would, you know, tilt back and forth a little bit to give it some, you know, help you out a little bit when you're posing it. But overall, nice molded detail. It looks like the blade piece is separate from the body of it, and the body has nice molded details. I mean, there's the exhaust that's a little close to where you're using it though, and little hose piece right here. Nice molded details just throughout it. Looks really, really cool. And then it looks like the saw's blade is probably molded in this color plastic, and then a nice silver paint app for the rest of it. But nice handle. So that's pretty cool. Well, let's take a look at the figure himself. And I'll have to say Buzzer looks kind of weird without his glasses on. But as you can see there, nice paint apps for the face. And then nice sculpted detail. Looks like the ponytail is a separate piece that's glued on. There's no wiggle waggle to it at all. But just nice mold all around on the head sculpt. There on the deco here, he's got some chest hair going on. He's got some forearm hairs going on. He's got some tattoos. Well, on one side anyway. It's got some nice paint apps here. Looks like a sheriff's badge that he probably stole off of somebody, and some dog tags that he also probably stole off of somebody. Nice molded on grenade there for that strap, which is a piece of the mold. It is not an overlay. Nice silver paint app for the skull and crossbones belt buckle, and then he's got some little spiky pieces on his belt. Or no, his belt is a spiky thing, because there's the belt loops and it's just all like that. So nice silver paint apps for that. Got a watch here with a nice tampo on it and a nice paint app around it. And looks like the crotch piece here is a paint app. It's got some paint apps on these thigh pads. One has a holster for his gun, the other a sheath for his knife. And then nothing new knee pads. And then I'm not sure if we've seen these boots before. Pinned knees, pinless elbows. Well, let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that high, which means it's a dumbbell at the top of the head and a ball joint at the bottom of the neck, and there's all separate pieces there. So chicken neck. Oops, I forgot how far he can look down. He can look down that far. So he's got chicken neck. He's got waggle. The ponytail gets in the way a little bit, but you can work around it, and he can do the full exorcist. Just watch out for the neck. It likes to move along with the head. At least on mine it does. Butterfly joint at the shoulder goes back that far, forward that far. So pretty good range of motion there. And looks like he can raise his arm up at the shoulder a little better than 90 degrees. Cut here at the upper bicep for another 360 degree rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow. Let's see. what range I can get out of it. Looks like you can get that much bend out of it. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist on, up and down hinge, and on the other side, up and down hinge as well. Now, I do like what they did here. Instead of this being an overlay piece, this strap, it is molded in, and it's also molded in at the lower part of the ab hinge so that it doesn't really break up or a strap doesn't get in the way. So, but as far as the ab hinge goes, he's got a standard ab hinge. He's got a ball joint at the waist, and in conjunction, those two, he gets all kinds of hula. He can lean left and right. Backwards, he can lean back that far, and forward that far. And this cut also gives him a 360 degree rotation there at the waist. Pull down hinge at the hips, he can give you that much of the splits. He kicks forward a little less than 90 degrees and back about 2 steps maybe. Cut at the upper thigh for a full 360 degree rotation. The holster will get in the way a little bit, so just be aware of that. Double hinge pinned knee, and it will give you that much bend. And then about the mid shin, there is a boot cut for another 360 degrees of rotation. At the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as accessory storage, his knife will go into the sheath here. So there's that. His sidearm will go into the holster here on the other side. So there's that. He can kind of wear his glasses. Sometimes they stay on his face. Sometimes they don't. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this because I've already heated them up and bent them one time and molded them to his face and they didn't stay. So this is going to be one of those pieces that if you don't fix it, it's going to get lost, because you can see, okay, now that I've said all that, it's actually staying on his face okay. And then as far as his other weapons goes, there are no storage for them. There's no post or anything for him to put his saw on his back so he can use the other two things. So he either holds them or he don't. And that, my friends, is a look. If you'll stand up. That's a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Buzzer with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Ripper and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Zartan. Here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Buzzer with the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Trooper with Swarm Gear and the Valaverse Action Force Scarab. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Buzzer with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. Our final classified series comparison, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Series Dreadnought Buzzer, I have to say that overall, I think they did a really good job with this character, and it checks all of my Real American Hero boxes, at least for me. It checks all the Real American Hero boxes except for maybe one. And that is the glaring omission of his backpack that has a gas can on it. Now, you know, that may just be me. I feel like that's an important thing for him to carry around because he's going to have to refuel his chainsaw, or, you know, maybe Ripper's Jaws of Life, or maybe Torch's torch. You know, he might have to refill that stuff, although maybe it doesn't apply to Torch as much because that would probably be jellied gasoline. But, you know, I like the way on his left side they work the strap where it goes, even though it's not an overlay, it goes under the hinge on the upper and lower portions of that hinge, so that it doesn't look like it breaks, and they didn't have to do an overlay that would just hinder things up or look awkward. So I do appreciate the fact that they did that. He comes with a good bit of accessories. Not shown here, of course, are the blade on the chain and the baseball bat with the saw blades on it, and that's, you know, he doesn't have storage for all of his stuff. So, to me, you know, that's, I wouldn't necessarily say an issue, but just something I like to point out with the classified line, because for the most part, all the figures store all their gear. And again, that's for the most part. Not every single figure does that. A couple of things I would have liked to have seen on this figure. And, you know, the biggest issue for me with this figure is the glasses. They don't really stay on very well. I did heat them up and try to mold them to his head a little bit, so maybe that will help with them falling off constantly. But the only other thing that I really want to mention is I think they should have made his ponytail where it plugged in, and then you could rotate it around just a little bit just for some different posing. And as an alternative to the loose sunglasses that are gonna eventually get lost, I would have liked to have seen, not just on Buzzer but on Ripper as well, alternate head sculpts, one with the sunglasses and one without. And I think that would have worked a lot better. And then they could have also done, you know, an alternate facial expression with an alternate head. But, you know, again, this one does check most of the boxes, and for the most part, it's a good figure. The sculpt is great. The deco is great. The accessories are great. And, you know, if you're a fan of the Dreadnoks or Cobra or Classified, or a Classified fan of a Real American Hero, then, you know, this guy's a pickup for you. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to mention that I wish they had done a little differently is like not the trigger handle, but the handle where he holds the chainsaw. I wish they had made that a piece where it's swiveled back and forth to help with posing rather than just being in that one static position. But that's all. That does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.